You can see my hands. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I can almost not believe it. If I put the mouse there, then I know kind of where I am. Hey, there we go. All right, that works. Oh my god, he's real. You just really like the GLaDOS call out. So, okay, I used to think this was back before anybody was doing anything with AI, but it was basically like a text-to-speech thing that you would type in stuff and then it was like GLaDOS would say it. And that was how I got that one, is I just typed in like a bunch of different subscription things and I had GLaDOS say them. I can't find it anymore. I'll have to look around. That's also how I have the one if you donate money. If you like tip me on here, it's Jeremy Clarkson says stuff. I'll have to see if I can find that again. Do jazz hands to prove not AI. I have really manicured hands. I just trimmed my nails like an hour ago because they were kind of long. And I really didn't want to like rip one of them apart while I was working on stuff. So yeah, the only reason they're manicured is because I just did them. Can I snap? Yeah, see. I can snap. The duck? Got my goose? Do you like my little... There we go. Do you like my little goose? He's a lamp. Oh, that's some weird artifacting. Holy crap. That's goofy. Yeah, that's doing some goofy artifacting. Oh, whoa. All right, anyway. We'll put him right there. That might actually, we might have to turn him off. We'll turn him off. He's a little bit too much. Wanna see my ring? There you go. Behold my ring. I like knurling so much. I like knurling so much that I got my ring knurled. I got a knurled ring. It's made of titanium. And it is in fact knurled. I like it. Okay, we may have to I may have to adjust the video settings because it did seem kind of goofy there for a second. I don't know. I'm not sure. I just got, so this is a new little webcam that I got. I poke you, chat. I may have to adjust the video settings. I don't know yet. We'll see. Anyway. Are you guys excited for gun cleaning? Are you guys excited for gun cleaning? I bet you are excited for gun cleaning. Let's get the first gun. Let's get the first gun to be cleaned. There it is. Behold, the first gun to be cleaned. Let's make sure it's not loaded. Wait a minute. Oh. I thought that was clear. I thought that was clear. It wasn't. So this is a Nerf gun. I'm being silly. This is a Nerf gun that it does actually. I put a red dot on it. I put a red dot on the Nerf gun. Here, look. This it's not an official Nerf gun. It's like a toy, but you can actually load it with little plastic shells. This is gonna be really hard to do from this angle. That was surprisingly easier than I thought it was gonna be. Oh, well, okay, I spoke too soon. It's not easy anymore. There we go. See, it's really hard for me to do this looking at my screen and not... Damn. Shell popped out. All right, anyway. You guys get the idea. I'm not actually going to be cleaning this one. But You thought it was some goofy Cerakote job? No, it's just a Nerf gun. It's just a little toy. All right. Does it have plus capacity like the real gun? You know, I've tried multiple times to see if I can get like the plus capacity like on a real one, and I can't seem to get it to work. This is like close. This is close to the actual 1887 lever action, but it's just a little bit not. Oh no, I knocked over my Tanuki. Whoops, my anarchy symbol. Put him back. All right. We're not actually gonna be playing around with that. That would just be silly. That would be silly, you guys. Not the Tanuki, he's fine. He's fine. Dang it. I really do like this funny Nerf gun. It's great. This Nerf gun is actually what my wife got me for Christmas one year. This funny Nerf Winchester 1887 lever action. I need to mount this to my wall. At some point, I need to like put this. Oh, I could just put it above my desk. That would be funny. Okay, I might have to do that. I have to find a way to like mount this above my desk. Anyway. All right. We're gonna actually clean guns now. What are we gonna start with though? What? Can I do the Terminator chamber with it? Okay, so I tried to do the Terminator chamber with it like the first day I got it, and it like twisted my fingers really bad. And I haven't tried to do it since then. Like the first time I tried to do it, it was like, oh, okay, never mind. I'm just putting it. I'm not doing that again. Anyway, the little Tanuki can wear my ring as a crown. Can he? He kind of can. He kind of can. Oh, that's right. We need to do something. I need to turn on the, oh. I said last night when I was streaming that I was gonna leave that on there and that later I would turn it on and forget what I had typed in. So now I have to fix it because it's not what I want it to say. God damn it. I actually pranked myself. I actually pranked myself. All right, what is the current gun? What is the first gun? We'll just do this. Perfect. Perfect. And then we'll just make that a nice, reasonable size, and we'll put it like up there. I might have to change the color of it because it is kind of hard to see. Give me a second. That's too dark. That's better. Ah, that'll work. Great. Boop. Perfect. Any luck on an M1 Garand for my collection? No. No luck on that. What's my opinion on bolt action pens? Do you guys want to see a bolt action pen? Hang on. On today's episode, Zach has really crippling ADHD. Bolt action pen. Bolt action pen. I kind of like, I like some bolt action pens. This one is made by a company called Tactile Turn. It is made out of a material called Ultem, which is a like amber colored plastic. Pretty much all of the metal on this thing is made out of titanium. And yeah, it's just a little bolt action pen. It's cool. I like it. I'm not a huge fan of bolt action pens. I generally prefer little clicky pens. Pilot G2 Kang. This uses Pilot G2 ink cartridges. We should clean it. Okay, maybe we'll do that. Anyway, Mark 23 SOCOM cleaning. Let's see. Why no Bushmaster arm gun? Dude, I want one of those, but like, I'm not paying for one. They're hard to find. They're hard to find in like decent shape, and I don't want to pay money for one. I'm cheap. All right. Should be good for now. .45 caliber bore brush. Oh, actually, we'll need that too. All right. Gun cleaning. Ah. I'm cheap as he cleans a $2,000 pistol. Please, the Mark 23 SOCOM costs far more than $2,000. It's like 2,500. New SIG regulator looks kind of fun, to be honest, but not for like $2,000 to $3,000. I would agree. I think the new SIG regulator looks kind of cool. But also like, I want the I actually want the, oh god, what is the name of it now? The Fight Light SCR. I want a Fight Light SCR lower, because I think those are fun. I think they're like goofy fun, and I want one. Anyway, Mark 23 SOCOM. What is my opinion on the 4-bore rifle? I mean, it's a really big rifle. It's cool. It's really big. Yeah. There we go. What the Man, that is on there tight. Jeez, what happened? How did I get on there so tight? I really didn't want to lose it. Do I daily carry? I do, yes. I carry a Glock 19 on a daily basis. Yeah, I carry a Glock 19 on a daily basis. I feel like where I live, it isn't strictly necessary for me to carry one, but, you know, I'd rather have it. Will we be licking the oil for shavings? No. What are my thoughts on the Ludi improvised submachine gun? I think conceptually, the Ludi improvised submachine gun is neat. Would I get one? Probably not. I'm not particularly interested in it. I think it's neat, but I don't really see any reason to. I don't really see any reason for me personally to buy one. And then register as a short-barreled rifle, because it is at the end of the day just a bunch of sheet metal that's like welded together. So, I think it's cool. I don't need one or particularly want one, but it's cool. Have I ever encountered a Colt Huntsman? I'm pretty sure I've seen one of those before. It's a little like 22 caliber handgun, I think. They're neat.
Oh goodness, so many gifted subscriptions. You must really hate money.
Thank you very much, Vortex6634, for the 10 gifted subscriptions. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Very nice of you. Do I have any bizarre weapons in the collection? I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it bizarre, but I feel like the Mark 23 kind of fits that bill. It's odd. Not that many people own the Mark 23 SOCOM. What do I have in my collection that's kind of bizarre? I have a... yeah, the Beretta Bobcat and Tomcat are kind of weird. I have a Beretta 1934 pistol, which again is a little strange, but like if you collect World War I, World War II era pistols, that's kind of weird. P90's a little weird. I guess I don't really have anything that bizarre. Are there any guns I've shot that I refuse to shoot again? I don't refuse to shoot a Serbu Super Shorty again. I refuse to shoot a Serbu Super Shorty if you put a 3-inch Magnum shell into it. I did that once and I never want to do it again. That wasn't exactly fun. What are some other ones? Yes, for those of you that don't know, a Serbu Super Shorty is a 12-gauge shotgun that's like this big. It holds 3 shotgun shells. It's small. It only holds like 3 shotgun shells total. And yeah, it's like that big. And when you fire a 3-inch shell out of it, it isn't fun. It's not enjoyable. What's another one that I don't want to shoot again? 10-gauge shotgun. I don't really see any reason to shoot a 10-gauge again. Personally, anyway. Super Shorty with the mini shells would actually be pretty good. That probably wouldn't be terrible. Mini shells don't have a whole lot of recoil to them. I cannot see if there's any. There we go. It is a little annoying. I gotta try to figure out how to do this on camera. Do we have a suggestion for a concealed carry handgun for someone looking to start? Glock 19, SIG P320, H&K P30 SK or VP9 SK. Any of those would be really good. Yeah, that is some stubborn carbon on there. There we go. What does a gun mean when a gun is 10 gauge? So for people who don't know, gauge is a measurement for shotguns that they don't use for any other weapons. And what a gauge is how many spheres the diameter of the barrel made out of lead would equal 1 pound. So for a 12 gauge, that means 12 spheres, the diameter of the barrel would equal 1 pound. So a 10 gauge means 10 spheres, the diameter of the barrel made of lead would equal 1 pound. Except for 410 gauge, because that is not, despite the fact that it says 410 gauge, that isn't actually a gauge, that is caliber. because of it's got to be fucking weird. So yeah, the 410 is not actually a shotgun gauge. That is a caliber. It's really fucking confusing and stupid. Yeah. I think like in Halo, the shotgun in Halo is technically an 8-gauge shotgun, which is very silly, but is 410 gauge underrated? I think it's underrated. Yeah, you can actually do a lot with 410. 410's a great garden gun too. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a good home defense gun, but if you're like a farmer, 410 gauge is great. Russia has a 6 gauge. If you're talking about the KS-23, that's not actually a 6 gauge. The KS-23 is its own thing, and it's really weird. The KS-23 is technically a shotgun in that it's technically a shotgun in that they make shotgun shells for it, but the name KS-23 is Carabiner Special, something along those lines. I can't speak Russian. The name means special carbine. It's technically considered a carbine, not a shotgun. At least according to the Russians anyway. And what it is it's a barrel. It's a 23 millimeter anti-aircraft cannon barrel that did not meet the pressure testing standards to be used in a 23 millimeter anti-aircraft gun. I believe it's the Shipanov GS-23 is the specific cannon that it's supposed to be used in. Most of the shells that are designed for it are like low velocity buckshot or beanbag or like a tear gas grenade. So it's like it fits into this weird category of it fulfills the role of a shotgun, but it technically isn't a shotgun because it has a rifled barrel. It's not a smoothbore, it's a rifled barrel. And it literally is just the barrel for an anti-aircraft cannon that they chopped down into 3 or 4 pieces and then put it onto 3 or 4 different guns. So, yes, technically it would be considered a 6-gauge shotgun if it was a shotgun. But that's kind of calling the KS-23. It fits into this weird category, or because of the weird category it fits into, calling it a shotgun is like calling a Humvee a car. Yes, it's a car in that it's a vehicle that drives around, but I wouldn't fucking call that a car. That's how I feel about the KS-23. It's weird, you know. That's another oddball gun I have. Oh yeah, the TP9's an oddball gun I have. I love the TP9. Saw me comment on Brass Facts video. Yes, I did. I'm actually really stoked that he replied to me. But I think he replies to a lot of people, so I shouldn't feel like, oh my god, about it. But it makes me happy that he replied to it. Cleaning pistols. Just remembered shotguns don't have any rifling, do they? Technically, no. Like, yeah, you can rifle a shotgun. But you don't want to fire shot shells through it. You can get a rifled barrel for shotguns. And again, it's one of those weird things of like, this is a terrible example, but it would be like, oh yeah, I have a car and I put off-road tires on it, but that doesn't make it an off-roader, you know? If that makes any sense to you guys. If I could redesign the M203, would I change anything? If I could redesign the M203, I think the only thing I would do is instead of having the barrel punch forward like it does, I would have to try to have the barrel pivot out to the side. That would be the only thing, because like putting flares into a 203 is kind of a bastard, just because of how it's designed. Yeah, I think that's decent for this. Cleaning. Pistol. What was the first time I shot a shotgun? A 12 gauge shotgun was actually the first gun I ever fired. And it knocked me directly on my ass. And then I loved shotguns ever since then. So yeah, the first gun I ever fired was when I was like 10 years old, and it was a 12 gauge shotgun. Is it safe to fire steel shot from an old 870 Wingmaster? Yes, unless you have a choke tube on it, then I wouldn't recommend it. Do I have the battery pack for the SOCOM? If you mean the laser aiming module, no, I don't have one of those. I would like a laser aiming module, but the laser aiming module for a Mark 23 SOCOM is like $6,000, and the laser is incredibly dim. The flashlight is incredibly dim. It really is of no use whatsoever, except that it looks cool. So that's kind of really the only thing you can do with the LAM on a for a Mark 23. What is my go-to lubricant? GW25. US military LSA oil, and white lithium grease, depending on what I'm trying to do. Those are the three that I generally prefer to use. Aren't those lambs expensive as the gun themselves? No, they're more expensive than the gun now, because nobody has them anymore. I wonder if one of those airsoft lamb replicas would work. They definitely would work, but they probably wouldn't hold up to much recoil. So they would work for a little bit. If you could find a way to convince,
Oh look, another resubscriber.
Thank you very much, Crowbar Ranger, for the 4 months of subscription. I really appreciate it. If you could find a way to convince a company like Somo Gear to start making them, like, to start reproducing clones of them, that might work. Because honestly, the Somo Gear that I have has held up, ow, very well. Just ran over my foot. I have a Somo Gear PEC 15, and that has held up surprisingly well. A lot better than I thought it was going to be completely honest. I kind of thought it was just going to explode after like the first couple ones. But 3D printed laser aiming modules. The way you're going to get a good laser aiming module is going to depend entirely on what equipment is inside it, and whether or not it is potted. Thank you very much for the bits, Zorox Bleach. I wasn't able to join the military, and your videos make me think that was a good thing. It's entirely possible. I always like to tell people, unless you have wanted to join the military for your entire life, I do not recommend you do it. How do I learn to clean my guns? YouTube videos. There are a lot of really good videos. Just look up a video on the one you specifically have. The other way you learn how to clean your guns is experience. Just do it enough times. Basically, you want to focus on any areas where there's a lot of carbon buildup. And then you want to make sure that any part where it is metal on metal contact is lubricated. If there's two pieces of metal that are doing this, you want lubricant on that. It wouldn't take me in the Navy because I was on Adderall. I mean, if you're on Adderall and you want to join the military, I shouldn't tell you guys this. I shouldn't tell you guys this because, like I said, unless you have wanted to join for your entire life, I don't recommend you join the military. But if you are on Adderall and you really want to get into the military, and they won't take you in because you're on Adderall, don't tell them you're on Adderall. Don't tell them you're on any ADHD medication. And then once you finish basic training and job training and you're in the military proper, go to your unit, or you go to the medics and you tell them, man, I'm having a lot of problems paying attention. I think I might have that ADHD thing. And then they'll put you on medication. It's the dumbest shit. It's the dumbest shit. They will not take you into the military if you're on Ritalin. But then once you're in the military, you can totally be like, I can't pay attention. And then they'll go, oh, we'll give you Ritalin. It's the stupidest shit. Also, you can get a note. Generally, you can get a note from your doctor. Well, depending on your doctor. You might get doctors. You might get a doctor who has some kind of moral compunction about it. But you can get a note from your doctor that basically says, oh yeah, they don't need Ritalin. They're fine. They don't need it. Did they give me ADHD meds in the Army? They didn't give me ADHD meds, but they gave them to other people. I know, because I knew quite a few people who didn't have ADHD and then said that they had ADHD so that they could get Ritalin, so they could stay awake. They won't let you in if you have ADHD? Not generally. But yeah, obviously your mileage may vary. It depends entirely on the map station you go to. Does this mean if I was to join the Army, I'd have to stop taking my drugs, finish training, and then tell them, yeah, yep, that's basically what it means. I had a friend pulled a sciatic nerve 2 weeks ago during PT. They made him drag 2 guys after he told them. Glad I didn't join the Marines. Yup, that sounds average for the US military. That definitely sounds like the military I know and love. I use the term love very, very loosely. And by know and love, I mean I know of. Yeah, the military really does not care about your back whatsoever. Alright, let me see. How clean is this now? Well, I probably could do a little bit better job. I probably could do a little bit better job. So I guess I might as well. I was going to follow that up with I probably could do a better job, but I don't really need to. And then I started cleaning it more. So I guess we're going to do a better job. Worst part is that medical's been full, so he hasn't been yet. Yeah, that's understandable. When I was in, they would make you feel like a piece of shit if you went to sick call. Unless you were actively bleeding. Unless you were actively bleeding, they made you feel like an absolute fucking piece of shit if you went to sick call for any reason. Any tips for getting slight rust from out of a barrel? Do you mean out of the inside of the barrel or out of the outside of the barrel? On the inside of the barrel? I'm not really sure. You could try something like a light penetrating oil, and then basically doing like really fine steel wool on the inside of it to just kind of clean it out, but I'm not sure. Ew, it's all gross in here and filled with carbon because I shot like 300 rounds through it suppressed. Suppressors are really rough on guns, just so you guys know. If I wanted to keep this, gun in like pristine condition, I would never shoot it suppressed. But I bought this gun because I wanted to shoot it with a suppressor on it. So, how much lube is too much lube? When the gun stops functioning, that's too much lube. Is this that really blocky video game pistol? Yes, it's the Mark 23 SOCOM, as made popular by Metal Gear Solid. Never would have thought the suppressors would be tough on guns. The reason suppressors are difficult, or the reason suppressors are kind of tough on guns, is because you are increasing the amount of back pressure going into the gun. You're increasing the amount of recoil that it's feeling. So, SOCOM was designed to be suppressed. Yes, it was. Want one of these because of Metal Gear Solid. The thing I like about, well, no, I shouldn't say the thing I like about the Mark 23. The thing about the Mark 23 is that if you want a 45 caliber suppressed handgun, if you want a 45 caliber handgun that you're going to run with a suppressor on it, there are so many other options you could get. Like FNX 45 Tactical. You could just get I forget what the model number is because Glock has entirely too many model numbers. But you could just get a 45 caliber Glock and put a suppressor on it, and you can get a bunch of different ones that you can that you could put like an optic on to increase your sighting ability. You could get ones that are smaller or more concealable, or that maybe don't nearly weigh as much. You definitely can get ones that don't cost $2,500. But if you were 12 years old and you played Metal Gear Solid and it left an impression on you, then you kind of need the Mark 23 SOCOM because it says Mark 23 SOCOM on it. And then in that instance, this is the only gun that's going to do it. Much as I love the Mark 23, I think I would go with a USP since it's the son of the Mark 23 and it's a bit more compact. Yeah, I can understand that. However, what I will tell you is that the USP is not actually the son of the Mark 23 SOCOM. They were developed at the same time, and they definitely use things from each program, but the USP is not a miniaturized version of the Mark 23 SOCOM. Internally, right here, this is substantially different on a USP. A lot of the components are very different between a USP and a Mark 23 SOCOM, in that I don't think there's really any parts compatibility between the two. Yeah, I get what you mean. I completely understand what you mean. I'm just being a pedantic fuck and being like,
well, actually, I think you'll find that the Mark 23 and the USP 45 are actually, they're two different handguns. They're made by the same company. Blah, 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 blah.
Anyway, you get what I mean. I'm not trying to be a dickhead. Another fun fact about the USP. Another fun fact about the USP is that the USP, the first cartridge it was designed in, was 40 Smith & Wesson. The USP was designed to run 40 Smith & Wesson because they were trying to design it for a bunch of different military and police. So they made it in 40 Smith & Wesson first, and then made it in all the other calibers afterwards. Which is unusual, because I really feel like there weren't a lot of guns that were designed from the outset to be 40 Smith & Wesson. Which subgroup of gun culture holds the title of most autistic? I am gonna go with cloners. I think cloners are probably the most autistic of gun nerds. Because like collectors will just get a bunch of different guns that they want, and then maybe you might get a collector that's like, no, I don't want that M1 carbine, it's not made by Inland or whatever, you know. But when you start getting into like clone nerds, which I am kind of a clone nerd, so you know, that's how I have this information. I can speak on it because I am one. You get clone nerds who will spend a stupid amount of money on a part for a gun that they don't need because they already have 6 of that part. But this part has a cage code on it. So that means that it's good.
Oh look, another resubscriber.
Thank you very much, the Parker, for the 3 months of subscription. I really appreciate it. Clone nerds can be incredibly intolerable because you'll be like, oh, check out my M16. And they'll go,
Oh, that's not actually an M16 because it's not made by Colt. So really, it's not an M16 at all, and it doesn't have the full auto. It doesn't have 3-round burst on it, so it's not actually an M16.
because it's like, if you come up to me and you say, hey, check out my M16, I'm gonna know exactly what the fuck you mean. You mean you have a rifle that is designed to look like an M16. And like, if you come up and you hand me an M16 and you say, hey, look at my M16, but it's an M16A4, I'm still gonna know exactly what you mean. But clone nerds will be like,
that's not an M16, that's an M16A4, and it's not actually an A4 because it's not the 3-round burst one.
So I would argue that cloners are probably the most autistic of gun nerds because they can be really fucking intolerable. You can be like, oh, check out my Mark 18 clone, and they're like,
well, this one doesn't have this specific version of the Magpul CTR stock, and like, I know you have a CTR stock on there, and I know that this group of Rangers in 2010 used the CTR stock for 1 week, but like, you don't have the LMT SOCMod stock on there. And also, even if you did have an LMT SOCMod stock, it's not actually the LMT SOCMod stock because it's not the original one that doesn't have the QD sling swivel installed on it.
Like, I made myself angry saying that. Jesus Christ. These are all arguments I've actually heard from clone nerds, is that it's not actually a Mark 18 clone because I used the wrong version of the LMT SOCMod stock. Because I used a B5 SOCMod stock, not an LMT SOCMod, and it was the wrong version. So you know what? I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about.
Oh look, another resubscriber.
Just a part of it. Thank you very much, Nuclear Merc. for the 6 months of subscription. I'm going to show you guys what the fuck I'm talking about. Hang on.
You have another
LMT.
subscriber.
Also, I don't know if I thanked the Parker4 for the 3 months of subscription. Thank you very much, the Parker4. I'm sorry if I missed that. Does FN make new M16s? So FN makes the M16 commemorative, which is it's a M16A4. And that's one of the best ways to clone an M16A4 is to just buy an M16 commemorative, but it is also kind of expensive. And a lot of cloners are obsessed with doing it themselves. They have to get all the components themselves. All right, let's see. Dang, that's not a big enough image. That should be a big enough image. Come on. Heard the Army got annoyed with Colt and went to FN for a new contract. They didn't get annoyed with Colt. The problem is Colt went under again. Colt like doesn't they got bought by well, they went bankrupt and then they got bought by I think CZ. I think CZ USA bought Colt now, which is a good thing. Because they do a really good job. Anyway, okay, here we go. So, just to give you guys an example, this is what I was hearing here. I had someone can't talk. I heard someone say that what this person had was not a Mark 18 clone because they had this stock on it. And in order for it to be a Mark 18 clone, it needed this stock on it. Now, can I just view the image? Just view image. Perfect. That's perfect. There we go. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell what the difference is between this stock. Let's ignore the giant B5 on here. Let's ignore the giant B5 on here. And for the layman, if you look at this and you look at this, that is the same stock.
Oh look, another resubscriber.
Thank you very much, Core279, for the 2 months of subscription. I really appreciate it. If you look at this and look at this, that is the same stock. But because this one has a quick detach cup on it, and also this one has knurling on the lever, you have the wrong stock, apparently. According to, it's like, these are the different levels of clone nerds. Is that like, no, that's not actually a Mark 18 clone because you have the LMT, you don't have the LMT Satma Gen 1 stock, which I'm not paying $500 for a discontinued stock that is literally in almost every conceivable way worse than this one. Like, what? I'm not paying that much money to make it a perfect clone. It's so stupid. It's clone nerds sometimes clone nerds are absolutely intolerable. Because it's like, well, that's the wrong stock, and it's just like, shut up though. Nobody cares. Like, no one cares anyway. Just realized I have a sight under my screen. Yes, it's the Nydar M45 shotgun sight. This is a shotgun sight from 1945. I don't know if I'm gonna be able, if you'll be able to see. Oh yeah, you can see it. See the reticle? Look at that. Look at that. If you played Call of Duty Vanguard, you'll recognize this. This was on like everything in Call of Duty Vanguard. Look at it. This is how the aircraft sights worked in World War II. Like the sights they would put on airplanes, so that you can shoot at other airplanes. This is the same way they worked. You got a little lens in here that light goes into it and bounces, and it projects the little circle that you can see in there onto this lens right here. This is a true reflex sight. Believe it or not. Isn't that neat? I bought one of those because it was cheap and I thought it was cool. I don't even own a shotgun to put it on. Well, I own several shotguns, but I don't own a shotgun to put this thing on. But I think it's cool. It's neat. I like it. It makes me happy to have it. I just have it sitting on my desk because I think it's cool. What makes it a true reflex sight? I think just what it is, technically. It's like what would be the first reflex sight? Anyway. Alright, I think the Mark 23 is mostly clean now, so we can kind of slap this bad boy back together. Did you almost miss a gun cleaning stream? No, we've only been going for an hour and 11 minutes. It kicks you when you tap it with a hammer.
Oh,
that
look,
does
another
also make it a
resubscriber.
reflex sight. Thank you very much, Comrade Oddball, for the 12 months of resubscription. Clearly, that reflex would go well on an M18 or 1987. Did you mean 1887 or 1897? 1897. Did you mean 1897? That's what I thought. Yep, it would go well on an 1897. I agree with you. What is a good cheap scope? That depends entirely on what you're trying to do with it. Or like what kind of scope are you talking about? Are you talking about like a red dot sight? Are you talking about a magnified optic? Are you talking about a LPVO? Or a fixed combat gun sight? Are you talking about a rifle scope? Yeah, it depends entirely on what you're talking about, man. I'm guessing they're called reflex because it actually reflects the sight reticle, or am I completely wrong? I'm pretty sure you're right, but now I'm second guessing myself. Now I'm second guessing myself as to why it's called a reflex sight. I'm pretty sure that it's because it like reflected the light. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so the first one was the Grub Reflector sight, which is just a funny name. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because it reflects. I started second guessing myself and I had to look. Thought it was a reflex sight because of CQC. See, I thought that too, but apparently it's because it reflects the light. It's kind of dumb, isn't it? Mirrors, am I right? Guess I didn't really even need to put any lubricant on that, but that's fine. Here, we're gonna... How does that stuff taste? Not very good. just kind of tastes like normal oil. What caliber and or gun would I recommend for someone who's never shot a gun before but wants to get one when money can be spared for one? Are you talking about a handgun, a rifle? Because like if you've never shot a gun before, I would recommend you start with a 22 caliber rifle. If you are looking for a handgun and you want a handgun that is I can do anything with this handgun, then I would recommend a wide variety of 9mm pistols. Yeah, 1022 is a really good starting point, or alternatively, instead of a 1022, I would recommend the Fletcher Rifle Works 1122. It is basically just a Ruger 1022. However, it comes apart way easier for cleaning. I'll see if I can show you guys. There we go. So this is the Fletcher Rifle Works 1122. You can just buy them as a rifle. They're a little expensive, but if you want like a really good 22 caliber rifle that is very easy to clean, it's a really good option, primarily because basically you just undo this pin on the side of it, and then the entire top cover just slides backwards off it. It makes it way easier to clean. So, and they're very, very accurate. I really like them. All right, that's good. Would I prefer the B36 Peacemaker or the B29 Super Fortress? I don't know. I don't really have any strong thoughts about either one of them. Almost dropped it. It's slippery. Always thought 22 WMR was an interesting as a possible choice over 22 LR. The only reason I would go with 22 WMR over 22 LR is if I'm going to be using it for hunting. That would be the only reason that I would buy a 22 WMR over 22 LR, just because of how cheap to shoot 22 LR is. I think ballistically, 22 WMR is probably a better cartridge, but 22 rimfire or 22 LR is going to be like cheaper to shoot at the end of the day. Cool. How much more oomph does it even have over 22 LR? It's not that it has more oomph, it's got more velocity though. So you've got more penetrating power behind it. That's the big thing for that. Great. All cleaned up. I'll just put it down here for now. I will just put it down there. Next gun. Next gun, next gun, next gun, next gun, next gun. I gotta change the text. Never realized how large a Mark 23 is. Yeah, it is literally 1 millimeter shorter. The Mark 23 is 1 millimeter shorter than a Desert Eagle. And we can just keep that one for now. That's really not that dirty. I can get rid of this. Will Zach Paul at the Car 98? I actually do not own a Car 98. I know. It's a crime. Though to be completely honest, I don't really want a Car 98. I want a Gewehr 98, which is the original one. Because I'm weird. Bad cleaning brush. There you go. With the roller coaster sight? Yes, that is the one that I want. Also, it's long. I want long boy. Full length. I want the full length one. I want the full length one. What are you doing, P30? Why are you being so stubborn? Come on. Not related to guns, what was the most superstitious thing I ever believed in? Well, I was raised in a Christian school, so... No, what was the most superstitious thing I ever believed in? I don't know. I can't really, nothing immediately is coming to mind. I guess I used to kind of be scared of like ghosts and stuff, but not really anymore. Roller coaster site? Yeah, the roller coaster. It's colloquially known as the roller coaster site. I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you what I mean, why it's called the roller coaster site, if I can find a good image of it. Hang on just a second. Can I get a higher resolution version of that image? Hang on. Really? That's the biggest version of that image? Hang on. Yeah, the Longavizia is the name of the specific, That's the biggest version you have of that? Seriously? Alright, well. Here we go. There you go. That is colloquially known as the roller coaster site because it looks like a hill on a roller coaster. See? That's not the actual name, but it's it looks like the hill on a roller coaster. So that's why it's called that. Wasn't really liked well by the army. I don't doubt it. I just like I prefer World War I era guns over World War II era guns. I think World War I era guns are cool. All right. continue cleaning. I really didn't shoot this one that much, but we're gonna clean it anyway. Like, it probably doesn't really need to be cleaned very much. But I might as well. What is my favorite bolt action? I've got a few favorite bolt actions. Again, the Gewehr 98. I would love to get one of those. Swiss K31. Steyr M95. I really like straight pull bolt actions. I think straight pulls are really fucking cool. So those are probably my three favorites. Steyr M95, Gewehr 98, and the Swiss K31. Okay, that doesn't look terrible. I'm gonna buy the Ian camo. I wasn't planning on it, but it's pretty fun. I think that's kind of neat. Any new bolt action guns I'd want? I don't know, I haven't really looked into any recently. I like my V-Pon on, I'd like a hammer-fired HK, but I don't know if P30's weird hammer trigger thing going on. Do they make one that's just regular DA, SA with a decocker? Yeah, that's most P30s. This one's just weird in that it's the LEM trigger. But most P30s have a decocker back there. For gun cleaning, what type of brush do I use? So for cleaning barrels, I use a brass brush. That's what this is. For cleaning barrels, I use a brass brush. For cleaning the actual gun itself, I usually just use a nylon brush. In the event that I get really, really stubborn carbon, I do have brass brushes as well. But yeah, I really only use brass brushes on really stubborn carbon buildup. Don't like fanboys of the Hell Regal because BF1 may or may not have done it right. We have like 2 photos of the Hell Regal. We have absolutely no idea what the Hell Regal actually looks like because there's like 2 photos of it that exist. So it's kind of goofy that they're like, I mean, if you can have whatever gun you want as your favorite gun, right? Like you can have whatever gun you want as your favorite gun, but it is kind of goofy when people are like, "I love the Hell Regal," and it's like, it's not real, man. It doesn't exist anymore. What are my favorite experimental weapons? I think the XM8 is pretty cool. The Magpul FMG9 is a neat experimental gun. I don't know. Oh, G11. G11's probably one of my favorite experimental weapons. G11's really fucking cool. Yeah, this really did not get this really did not get shot that much. To be completely honest, I probably really didn't need to clean it, but whatever. What do I think of the SPIWS? I think that was a bunch of interesting trials weapons, or like experimental guns, but none of them were really particularly good. Basically was an attempt to see if we could increase the hit probability of the average soldier by making a bunch of different guns that fire a bunch of like a multitude of projectiles, whether that's like you stack 2 bullets on top of each other, or you have it fire like 4 different laches. They made a bunch of different weird things, and then eventually, after a lot of testing, they discovered that the best way to increase the hit probability of the average soldier is to put a fucking scope on the gun. That's the best way to do it. But yeah, there was a bunch of really goofy stuff that people came up with, or that different companies came up with to try to increase the hit probability of the average soldier. Give me more bullets. No, the problem was they were firing too many bullets. The problem is they were using too many bullets. We want you to use less bullets and get more hits. Ooh, that was bright. Damn. Favorite weapon with an integrated sight? That's probably Styrog. Yeah, Styrog. Last in suppressing fire. Yeah, that's the really funny thing about it, though, is that it's like, you still have to do suppressing fire, so what's the point of all this nonsense if you're still going to be doing a lot of suppressing fire? It was because it was when we thought we were going to be going to war with Russia. During the Cold War, we thought we were going to be going to war with Russia, and they were planning on the whole moving between cover. So you have a very small you have a very small window in which you can actually fire at a target. So they were trying to make it so that you can get more bullets onto that target during that small window. Didn't work great. What are my thoughts on the Steyr ACR? I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting gun, but I mean, it kind of suffers from the same problems as a lot of those like SPIW prototypes. Yeah, that looks good. That looks wonderful. Ooh, you know what I'm gonna do for breakfast tomorrow? I'm gonna get a bagel for breakfast tomorrow. That's what I'm gonna do. Fuck, I can't wait to get a bagel. Oh my god. Oh, it's gonna be so good! Did I ever see or work on any Scar H's? Not while I was in the military, no. When I got out of the military, I saw quite a few of them. I see them on a I don't want to say regular basis, but I see them enough that it's not uncommon. But yeah, I never worked on them while I was in the military. Thoughts on the effectiveness of CLP? The only CLP I have had extensive use with was the CLP that they had while I was still in the military, which they had to revise the formula of right before I got out of the military because they found that it was horribly carcinogenic. So I don't think it worked particularly well because it was better at giving soldiers cancer than lubricating weapons. I shouldn't say that. It actually was pretty good at lubricating weapons. But it also was really good at tear gassing soldiers because they would put entirely too much of it in their M16. And then the first time they fired it, it would all aerosolize and get directly into their eyeballs. That was why before I went to any firing ranges while I was in basic training, I would always like make sure to lubricate my my M16 myself, and then basically refuse to let them. Because what they would do when I was in basic training is they would just walk down the line and ask if you lubricated your weapon, and if you said no, then what they would do is have you pull the bolt back on your M16 and then just spray the inside of the chamber like 8 or 9 times with a fucking spray bottle with CLP. So that it's just dripping with lubricating oil everywhere. And then they would have you close the bolt and then spray it even more. So that this thing is just absolutely soaked in oil. So the first time you pull the trigger, it fires, and then half of that CLP just aerosolizes and goes straight in your face, and now you can't see anything because your eye is completely filled with a cleaning solvent that it very specifically says not to get on your hands. So I would always lubricate my weapon myself, but I always lubricate my M16 myself so that I wouldn't get fucking tear gassed when I went to shoot my rifle. All the joy of being tear gassed without the bonus of getting your nostrils cleared out. Hooray. So much fun. So cool. So cool. So cool. So cool. Anyway. Don't pinch my finger. How could you do this to me? H&K P30. AKA the John Wick gun. It is, though. Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this. Did I go through the gassing chamber in basic training? Yeah, everyone has to do that. Everyone has to do that in basic training. They make everyone go through the CS gas chamber. Which is great because, like, up until that point, everyone is, like, sick because you're around a bunch of people. You're around a bunch of people that you've never been around before from a bunch of places that you've never been to. So everyone is, like, just sick. And then you go through the tear gas chamber. And man, that clears the fuck out of your sinuses. So, you know, if you're pro tip, if you're really congested, like if your sinuses are really gross and you have a really bad cold, eat some really spicy food that clears out your nostrils like you wouldn't fucking believe. And wouldn't you know it, tear gas has the same effect So it's actually great going through the tear gas chamber because, man, that clears your sinuses out immediately. Like, you come out of there and you just are dripping snot all over the ground. Like, it's so much snot. But your sinuses will never be clearer than they are in that moment. Could I use a little bit more lubricant on there? Probably. This tear gas has a metric fuck ton of capsaicin. Yes, it does. It is a lot of capsaicin. It is a lot of capsaicin. Could you go blind from tear gas? Yes, but I think it takes a very, very specific set of circumstances. Like, you have to be using a type of... I think you can, but you have to be using a type of contact lens that they outlawed in, like, the 1960s. And then you have to, like, rub the hell out of your eyes, and that's really the only way you're going to go blind from tear gas. How long has that been a thing? I feel like that's probably been a thing since, like, the 1950s, 1960s. That feels pretty good. I don't really think that needs to be, much more needs to be done with the P30. What was my service pistol while I was in the Army? Well, while I was in, the service pistol was the Beretta M9. I was never issued a pistol. Army doesn't usually get pistols unless you're infantry, and even then, it's like not as many infantry gets pistols. Marines all get pistols, but whether or not they bring them with them is a different thing entirely. I know there's plenty of Marine units that are like, yeah, we're not issuing pistols out because we don't want to have to we don't want to have to deal with that. So they don't issue pistols to people that are going out on mission. Also, the other thing is most soldiers do not really get trained on how to use pistols. So if you ever watch videos of US soldiers training with handguns, most of them look like they have no fucking clue what they're doing. Because most of them have no fucking clue what they're doing. They've never handled a pistol before. Great. I think that's honestly, honestly, aside from the... No, I am going to fix that. We're going to fix that. The bezel for the flashlight has a lot of schmutz on it, so I'm going to clean that off. Because I don't want to see a bunch of carbon residue on the flashlight. So we're going to clean that, but that means I need to get a pencil. I need a pencil. More specifically, I need the pencil eraser. Here's another pro tip for you guys. If you got a bunch of carbon residue on your flashlight, or on like the bezel of your flashlight, just use a pencil eraser. That is very fitting for the John Wick gun. Yeah, pencil erasers work great for cleaning residue off the front of flashlights. Especially if you get it on the lens, you just do that. getting most of it. Let's get in there. Could you use a pencil eraser for the inside? Probably not. It really only works on like very smooth surfaces.
Oh look, another resubscriber.
Thank you very much, the great Zelos, for the 3 months of subscription. I really appreciate it. Do I still have my 509th challenge coin? Yeah, I do. Wick RC had the sick compensator on his P30. Yes, I believe he did. I just don't remember what kind of compensator it was. He also didn't have an optic on his P30, if I recall correctly. Can we see the challenge coin? I'd have to find it. It's with a bunch of stuff. I'd have to locate it. I know in one of the movies, yeah, he had one of the Terran Tactical Glocks. I forget which one he had in the first movie. I think the first movie was the P30. I don't remember beyond that. Great. All cleaned. All cleaned. All right, let's clean another gun. Ah, thank you, Hex. I have more than one gun, believe it or not, I do. I actually have several. I want to see something. Camera, prop. Nope, not filters. Not filters. Properties. Configure video. I wonder if that's gonna improve it in any way. Because I was getting like weird artifacting, but I don't know why. It's whatever. It seems to be fine now. This was my first gun cleaning stream, might be my last. That goose is staring at me. He's a friend. He also lights up. I'm gonna turn him off though because he's a little bit too bright. Take my headphones off before I reach for this thing so I don't just yeet myself across the room. Boop. Ooh. Gloves. Ah. Stupid gloves. Come on. Come on, gloves. Gloves, behave. Ow. Ow. My gloves are not behaving. Well, thank you for stopping by multilaterally. You probably should go to bed if it's 3:30 a.m. for you. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna do this. What? And this. Gun. Gun. All right. Again, I don't really know how much this needs to be cleaned. Probably not that much, to be completely honest. But might as well. Even if all I do is just give it a little bit of a wipe down and add some more oil to it. Oh, yeah, this probably doesn't need to be really cleaned much at all. Well, no, I'm seeing a bit of debris in there, so... yeah. Alright. On today's episode of Zach being incredibly indecisive... here, we'll put this right here for now. And we'll start cleaning this stuff. Is this the MP9 we have at home? Yes, because it's the TP9, which is the semi-auto only version of the MP9. I like to jokingly refer to this as the MP7 we have at home. I want an MP7. We have an MP7 at home, and the MP7 at home is in 9mm and isn't made by H&K. Kirkland brand MP7. No, it's a little bit. I mean, because B&T isn't exactly a cheap company, so it'd be like the. I'm trying to think of a good way to describe this. If the let's just say if the H&K is like a Ferrari, If the H&K is a Ferrari, then the B&T would be like an Audi. That's probably a good way to describe it. I'm not saying in any way that this is, or that B&T guns are cheap. Can we see Piper? She will not fit on camera because she is a meter long. As much as I would like to put,
You have another subscriber.
thank you very much, Captain Cyrobi, for the Prime subscription. As much as I would like to bring her out here and put her on camera, I don't think that my M16A4 would fit. Flashlight, please. There we go. I need to get that off there because there's a lot of dust and schmutz in here. All dust must be cleaned. All dust cleaned. Rip them all down. Their roots grow deep, my lord. Could pass her through the frame like a waiter with fajitas. I mean, yeah, I could. I could. I'm not going to, but I could. Fangorn Forest lies on our doorstep. So you have chosen pain. I like to think I do a pretty decent, I can't remember his name now. Christopher Lee. I like to think I do a pretty decent Christopher Lee impersonation. I probably don't actually, but I like to think that I do. As a person who likes cleaning guns, which do I like more? The smell of gun oil or the click of things fitting back together? The click of things fitting back together, the noises are better. The smell doesn't really do anything for me, but the noises are great. Also, the actual physical feel of things clicking back together is really nice. What's the closest I've been to a negligent discharge? I think I have a video on my YouTube channel about that. You should go watch it. You should watch it. I think it's, I think there's, okay, I think there's a video on my YouTube channel. I could be wrong. I think it's like the M249 story or the, I can't remember if it's the M249 or the negligent discharge story, but my Easter Bunny skit was hilarious. I'm glad you liked it. It was fun. You know what we're gonna do? We might get a nylon brush. Oh, thank you, Hex. There it is. There's the negligent discharge story. It's in chat right now. Please watch. That's the closest I've ever been to a negligent discharge. What is my opinion on Burris optics? I don't think they're very good. I think they're okay, but there's definitely better options you could get. I would only take a Burris optic if I had no other choice. I am not a big fan of them. I need a brush. A brush. The title of the video about the negligent discharge is Zach's story of the M249 negligent discharge. If you would like to look for it on YouTube, you can find it on my channel, but it is titled Zach's story of the M249 negligent discharge. This song is neat. I like this song. Do I have a plate carrier? Not currently. I do not currently have a
You have
plate
another
carrier.
subscriber.
Thank you very much, the only Musu, for the Prime subscription. I really appreciate it. There's quite a decent amount of carbon buildup on this. Oh, there we go. I should have just done that in the first place. That is a really good way of getting carbon out of there. I'm gonna add that last song to my favorites. I like that one. It's a good one. If I were to get one, which one would it be? Probably Velocity Systems. I have the Velocity Systems Jungle Rig, which I really like. I really like their equipment, so I probably would get Velocity Systems plate carrier. If not theirs, then probably Spiritus Systems. One of those two. I like a lot of the equipment Spiritus Systems makes, so I think either Velocity or Spiritus would be a really good option. I have some long-range rifles, but the only long-range gun range is over an hour away and very expensive. Do I know of any way to shoot without the range or getting into trouble? I don't, unfortunately. I really wish I could help you out with that, but I don't want to say I'm in a similar scenario, but like the longest distance I can shoot at is like 500 yards. It would be nice if I could shoot farther than that. And yeah, I'm in a similar scenario where anything that's longer than 500 yards is basically out of the question for me. And yeah, unfortunately, in the United States, really the only ways to shoot at long range, if you don't have a readily accessible firing range, is have land or have friends that have land. That's really the only way I know of to do it. Sorry to tell you, man. I wish I had better news for you. $125 an hour to use the long range? Jeez. Fucking tell them that they need to have like club fees. They need to charge the people that like go to that range more often. See, my range has a 500-yard range, but you have to go there when there's like a range safety officer. which is only on certain days. Or you have to take the range safety officer course. But then if you're out there using the 500 yard range, and somebody else shows up and you are the range safety officer, you have to stop shooting. So, and let them shoot. Unless you're both range safety officers, and then it doesn't matter. Looking to buy land, but every time I talk to local LEOs, they tell me you can't shoot even if it's miles away from people. Yeah, well, that's why you don't talk to LEOs. You just put a suppressor on your rifle and you just do it. Can't shoot if someone else shows up. That sucks. Well, okay, so it's... I probably didn't do a very good job of describing it. You can shoot on the 500 meter range by yourself if you are a certified range safety officer. But that is only if there's nobody else out there. If anyone else shows up to use the range, you are the certified range safety officer. So you have to be the range safety officer. You cannot shoot while there's other people there that are intending to use the range. Once they all leave, or if someone else who is a range safety officer shows up. Time for some range safety. I'm Spartacus shit. I mean, yeah, if you're all RSOs, then you can do it. You can do some hot potato shit where it's like, all right, I'm going to shoot, so now you're the RSO, and just keep, like, switching. I don't know if that's... Oh, okay, that was just carbon buildup. I was about to say, I don't know if that's peening or if that's carbon buildup, but it was just carbon buildup. Thank God, I would have been real mad. I would have been real mad. LOL, peen. Hee. You live in Illinois? Oh, well, rip to suppressors on your rifle. Then the very clear solution, if you live in Illinois and you don't have a long distance range to shoot at, is don't live in Illinois. Illinois, another wonderful example of how the rules of one city dictate the rules of the entire state. My state recently banned all semi-auto rifles that are bigger than 22. What? That sounds stupid. Is it because of them assault? Is it because of them assault 22s? It's because of them assault 22s. Only reason I live in Illinois is because I make $300,000 a year as a welder. See, that's a good reason. That's a lot of money. Just like do that for a few years, get a fuck ton of money, and then don't live in Illinois anymore. Then you can live somewhere and get cool guns. Alright. How bad is this? This really doesn't look too terribly bad. Do you guys want to say something cool about this? This is one of the reasons I like this gun so much. Is because this gun has what is called a rotating barrel action. So, the silver thing is the bolt. This part right here is the barrel housing. This is the barrel. When the gun fires, it recoils backwards, and you can see that as it recoils backwards, it pulls the barrel backwards just a little bit. And you'll notice... Here we go. You'll notice that as it pulls the barrel backwards, that the barrel begins to turn and unlock from the bolt. So it goes to like right about there. That's when it stops recoiling. The bolt goes forward, picks up around, chambers it into the barrel, and then it re-engages. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Dude, I love rotating barrel guns. Rotating barrel guns are so freaking cool. Just the fact that it's got this mechanism, that's how it stays locked. So when the gun fires, it can't just like, the bolt can't just come backwards and unlock the gun. It has to pull the entire barrel back with it and then unlock it. It's so cool. I love this. We're gonna undo this. Pull the barrel out, and yeah, you know what? We're just gonna actually like give this thing a really good cleaning. Why not? What optic would I put on an FN Scar 17S? I don't know. Maybe some type of maybe like the Elcan, but I also don't really want to buy an Elcan because they're incredibly expensive. Probably some type of low power variable optic, so maybe like the Sig Tango. I forget what the nomenclature is, but like the Sig Tango optic would be a good option. Night Force would make a really good option. There's lots of low power variable optics that would be a great option to put on a Scar 17S. Hot take, I would rather have a Scar 16 than a Scar 17. I like the 5.56 version better. What is my favorite budget-friendly optic-ready pistol that doesn't have a threaded barrel or hold more than 15 rounds? Kind of put some dampers on it. Glock 19. Glock 19 or the Sig P320 Compact. Either one of those two would be really good options. If you want to be really... You get the 320 with a manual safety on it. But the reason I would say the Glock 19 MOS is because the Glock 19 MOS is really easy to put a bunch of different optics on it. The 320 Compact, you're kind of stuck with like their Pro optic, the SIG's Pro optic mounting system, which I'm gonna be honest is kind of hot garbage. I like the Sig P320, but their optics mounting system is trash. I hate it. Anyway, yeah, I would probably go with like a used Glock 19 Gen 4 or Gen 5 MOS. That would be a really good option. TP9 used to be the Steyr TMP, correct. The original version was the Steyr TMP. And then Brugger and Tomet bought all of the rights to it. Brugger and Tomet is now just called B&T. They don't really call themselves Brugger and Tomet anymore. But B&T bought the rights to the TP9 and the TMP. They bought the rights to the TMP and started making the TP9 and MP9. And they're amazing, and I love them. Get clean better, Barrel. I see a ton of carbon buildup. You know what? Here, we're gonna try this. I'm gonna try using an eraser on the chamber of this. I want to see how well that works. Not great, if I'm being honest. Reason I like the TP9 TMP goes to Resident Evil 4 with the character Hunk. Does he use a TP9 in Resident Evil 4? I don't think so. I think he pretty much always uses an MP5. If I remember correctly, I think Hunk always uses an MP5. Though I guess it could just depend on which game you're playing, to be completely honest. Never mind, I take that back. The OG RE4, he did use a TMP? Okay. You know what's really fun? What's really fun to me about the TMP TP9 in Resident Evil 4 is that in the original Resident Evil 4 in 2005, in the original Resident Evil 4, there is both a Steyr TMP, which Leon uses, and a Brugger and Tomet MP9, which Krauser uses. And I think that's really interesting that both versions of that gun by two different manufacturers are in the same game. That's just a really neat little bit of trivia to me. But they're both in the game. Because that was like Resident Evil 4 was right around the same time that Steyr sold the rights to that gun to B&T. Isn't that cool? I think that's really cool. I know Modern Warfare 3 isn't my thing, but the upcoming season is looking good, throwing back to 10 years ago or 30 years in the future. Huh. That's kind of neat. That's kind of neat. Would I ever get a Spaz 12? Maybe. I won't say I don't want one because they're really fucking cool looking. They're so cool looking. They're so iconic. So, like, I want one, but, like, I don't want to pay for one. Like, I really don't want to pay how much a Spaz 12 costs. They cost so much fucking money. Especially for a shotgun that, like, let's be completely honest, isn't really that good. Like, it's decent, but it's really fucking heavy, and they don't exactly have the best reliability. So it's like, I'm gonna pay that much money for a not great shotgun that's really only because of how it looks. So like, yeah, I don't get me wrong, I love the Spaz 12. I think the Spaz 12 is so fucking cool. But they're not that great. IMO shotguns are shotguns if it's semi-auto. What's the difference? The Spaz 12 is a convertible shotgun, so it can fire semi-auto and pump action. It can fire either one. But the gas operation of the Spaz 12 isn't great. Like, it kind of needs some work. Do the cleaning streams become VODs? Yes, this will become a VOD. It will be on my main channel, though, not on my VOD channel. So yeah, look for this video to come out on my main channel, not my VOD channel. Is there some advantage over pump action, or is some advantage to pump action over semi-auto? On a normal shotgun, yes, there is an advantage to pump action over semi-auto. One, it is cheaper. It is a lot cheaper to make a pump action shotgun than a semi-auto shotgun. Two, it's probably more reliable. You don't necessarily have to worry about whether or not the gas system is going to be able to kick the shell back. And then that means that you can run things like less lethal cartridges or really low brass like bird shot. You can run stuff like that through the shotgun without too much problem. The downside to a pump action is rate of fire is always going to be lower than you can get with a semi-auto shotgun. So if you need to do really fast follow-up shots, not going to be as good. The reason the Spaz 12 and other convertible shotguns, like the Benelli M3, which is the only one that comes to mind at the moment. The reason to have a convertible shotgun is if you are planning on running things like less lethal cartridges. The advantage of running a convertible shotgun is if you get an instance where the shotgun does not properly cycle, like it fires but it doesn't eject the shell casing, you can just rack the action on the front of it to clear the shotgun shell out of it. The reason most people don't do convertible shotguns is because you're taking what is already a mechanically complex shotgun and making it more mechanically complex by adding a pump feature to a thing that is already pretty complicated. That's why there's not a lot of those. There's really only a few like convertible shotguns. Can an M3 or M4 cycle with super shorty 1 3/4 slugs? Probably not. No. Like an M3 would cycle in pump action mode, but it's not going to cycle. It's not going to cycle in gas mode. Money no object. Wait. Do you mean the Origin 12? Did autocorrect do you really dirty, Vortex? Did you mean the Origin 12? Because if I have to choose between the Origin 12 or the AA12, I want to take the AA12, but that's just because of how it looks. The Origin 12 is really cool, but I would take the AA12. Oh, the Saiga 12. Oh, no contest. AA12. Definitely the AA12. Did I play Advanced Warfare back in the day? I did not. I stopped playing Modern Warfare after Modern Warfare 3. So whenever the hell that one came out. I don't remember when Modern Warfare... 2011? Yeah, that sounds about right. 2011 is when I basically stopped playing Modern Warfare games. Or like Call of Duty. I did play the Modern Warfare game that came out in like 2019. I did play that one. That one was kind of fun. I thought it was pretty good. Tarkov is the only gun porn game I play, and it's so bad outside the gunsmithing. I have tried to play Tarkov many times, and I really, really don't like it. Excuse me. I really don't like Escape from Tarkov. I tried playing it on stream at one point. There is no VOD of it, so don't bother trying to find it. I tried playing it on stream at one point, and I had a really fucking bad time. I basically just would consistently get headshotted from across the map by some dude with a fucking busted-ass 20 gauge. And the entire time I was streaming it, chat kept telling me how good the game was, and how I wasn't playing it correctly, and how I really needed someone. I had about 8 different chat members who consistently kept telling me that I needed them specifically to Sherpa me through the game, because then I will have fun if they Sherpa me, and how I was playing the game wrong, and that it really gets good after you put like 300 hours into the game. I don't want to put fucking 300 hours into this game. I don't want to put 1 hour into this game. It really gets good after 300 hours. 300 fucking hours? You could learn a fucking language in that time period. Anyway. yeah, I did not enjoy playing it at all. I will not go back and play it again. I have no reason to. And it was like, you know, I said it several times. I would really enjoy playing this game. I would really enjoy playing this game if it had a single player mode. If there was just a mode where you could just play by yourself and you didn't have to worry about playing against other people. And apparently, I guess there's like a training mode, but like you don't get to keep anything, so there's no reason to run the training mode because you can't use any of your stuff, and you don't get to keep anything you find in the training mode. So what's the fucking point of playing it? And there were a bunch of people being like, "Oh, there's a mod that you can download. There's a mod you can download to play it like single player." So I looked into it. The mod you download to play it single player, if the devs find out that you are doing it, they will fucking delete your entire character. They get real mad when they find out that people have modded their game. That and the fact that, like, the devs of the game, anytime somebody would be like, yeah, why the fuck did you do this? The devs would be like, hello, get fucked, and then would just delete them. So apparently the mods get real butthurt if you talk anything bad to them. So yeah, not interested in playing that. I mean, I can understand not wanting people to talk shit on the product that you work really hard on, but they like actively delete posts where people are giving them constructive criticism. They're banning my account for saying that right now. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. They probably have banned it already. I mean, it does look like a fun loot goblin simulator, but the problems I have with it still stand. Of like, the AI is just fucking aimbots. The AI is brutal in that game. The little I did play of it, I straight up got headshot by a dude with a fucking 20 gauge Saiga from like over 1,000 yards away. Just like, how? How is this possible? Thank you very much, Vortex6634, for all the bits. The backseating probably made it much worse too. Yeah, that's true. It's really difficult to want to continue to play a game when you have like several people being like, no, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Do this thing. Streamer, how dare you not play the game the exact same way that I play the game? I can't believe you. Oh my god. Streamer, I'm gonna come to your house. I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna hurt you for playing the game wrong. Over the years of playing a game, it's gotten a lot better, but right now it's dog ass because they added snow again, so you stick out like a sore thumb. Do they not have fucking snow camo in that game? That would just be the icing on top of the fucking cake, is that like they add this thing, but then don't fucking put snow camo into the game. Have I heard about X Defiant? I have not. I'll have to look into it. And there's a lot of carbon buildup there. Jeez. Hopefully this works. Tarkov was about as fun as a headbutting contest against a narwhal. I don't know, man. They seem like they probably got a, other than the horn, they seem like they probably got a squishy melon. That might be kind of fun. Might be like just bonking your head against a pillow, and the entire time it's like, ooh. Narwhal's just having a good time. Man, that is really a lot of carbon buildup right there. By the way, did you guys know that the name for the big forehead on a the name for the big forehead on a whale is the melon? Beluga whale bonk off. And that is still got carbon buildup on it. Thank you very much for the bits, Biggest William. Whales are neat. Whales are pretty neat. First dwarf is a hero defense, kind of like Orcs Must Die. I played Orcs Must Die. It's all right. I'm not a big fan of like tower defense, hero defense type games. Good lord, this carbon is really starting to piss me off. Do black powder and all the carbon buildup can really suck? I don't doubt it. It's like, I really don't need to go this hard in removing this carbon, but I really want it gone. I don't like it. I want this carbon auto. I know what I get. I know what I get. I know what I get. I'm so smart. I am a smart boy. I am the smartest boy. I am the smartest boy. Look at how smart I am. Use this thing. This is the Jack, made by Dull Boy Blades. See? It's really cool. It's just like a screwdriver or scraping tool thing. Oh, that's gonna work so much better. Can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear the, Can you guys hear that carbon coming out of there? Holy shit. That works so much better. That is crunchy. Here, let's see if we can get one more. Damn, actually, I think I got all of it. Holy shit. Damn, that worked so well. All right, well, here, maybe this. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but that's a good crunch. Wow, that worked incredibly well. You guys can't, you couldn't see what I was doing, but. So on the inside of the barrel, again, I don't know if you can see this. On the inside of the barrel, you can see that edge where the rifling stops. There was a bunch of carbon buildup on that going all the way around the barrel. And that's what I was trying to get out of there, was all of that carbon buildup. And this thing worked so well. Did you guys know that the crunchy carbon tastes just like burnt marshmallow? He's not wrong, it does. What am I cleaning? I am cleaning the barrel to my TP9. Harbor Freight dental picks could work too. Yeah, I don't see why they couldn't. Damn, that worked incredibly well though. Great. Barrel cleaned. Now we just gotta clean the barrel shroud. Can I do a gun recap for chat that just came in? Sure. So we have cleaned today. We have cleaned the Mark 23 SOCOM. I took that apart and cleaned it earlier. Mark 23 SOCOM. And then we cleaned the H&K P30L, aka the John Wick gun. This is the one that has been modified by Langdon Tactical. Thank you very much. Oh, nope, never mind. My computer just being dumb. Tell me something else. And then I took apart a suppressor and discovered that I had I had a baffle strike in it at one point. So that is what we've cleaned so far. Currently, we're cleaning the B&T TP9. Oh, I completely forgot. I was going to mention this earlier. You guys want to know something fun about H&Ks? You guys want to know something fun about H&Ks is they all have a date code on them. Let me turn it the correct way. There you go. You see how it says right there? There's a CIP and then it says CC and has a deer antler next to it. All HKs have a date code on them. And the date code are the last two numbers of the year it was manufactured, but they do it in letters. So this one is CC. A is 0, B is 1, C is 2. So this handgun was made in 2022. And now, for example, this one. Now, this is really important. You'll see on a lot of HKs, it says on the slide DE. The DE does not mean the date code. The DE means that it was made in Deutschland or Germany. So that's really important. You'll see a lot of those that say DE, but that does not mean, that's not when it was made. This one again has it on the bottom of the trigger guard, CC, or 2022. And I'm gonna pull this apart really quick to show you the inside of it. Another fun thing. Ooh, actually, interesting. Okay. So sometimes you get on the inside of the frame, this is going to be really hard to see. You're not going to be able to see it properly. There is a circle with an arrow on the inside of it, and it's pointed at, there's numbers 1 through 12 going on it. There's an arrow pointing at one of the numbers. In this case, it is pointing at the number 9, which means that this was made in September. And it says CB on the inside of the frame, which is weird. I wonder if they laser engrave I wonder if they laser engrave the CC on there for when it has officially been finished manufacturing. And then the CB, which would mean 21. I wonder if the CB is when the frame was actually produced. That is entirely possible. Yeah, that's the circle with the arrow is a thing that polymer manufacturers do. You'll find that on a lot of stuff made out of polymer. I'm pretty sure there's one on this somewhere. I know there's one on this somewhere. So my guess is the laser engraving CC on the bottom of the Mark 23 SOCOM is what date it was actually finished. Also, yeah, you'll notice that the serial number starts with 23. That does not mean that the gun was made in 23. It's because it's a Mark 23 SOCOM, so all the Mark 23 SOCOMs start with serial number 23. There's lots of fun things you can find out about manufacturing that are little hidden things like that are really cool. Somebody asked if suppressors are actually silent. No, they're not. You can get suppressors to be very quiet. Like if you get a 22 caliber suppressor and run a subsonic 22 through it, it'll be very, very quiet. But practically speaking, the loudest or the quietest you can really get most suppressors, practically speaking, on like a semi-automatic handgun is going to be about as loud as a nail gun for roofing. Or another example would be if you were to slam a dictionary on the floor. Do I hunt commonly at all? I do not. I don't really go hunting. I used to go hunting more often, but I haven't gone in a very long time. Yeah, I don't particularly care for it. For a brief moment, you thought my SOCOM was a Jericho? I guess I can kind of see that. Does hunting people count? Asking for a friend who owns an island. Oh man, I forgot the name of the dude. I was gonna do a literary like deep cut, and I forgot the name of the guy. General Zaroff. Get out of here, General Zaroff. Beat it, General Zaroff. You're not supposed to be here. Get out of here, you jerk. General Zaroff showing up in my chat and asking if he can hunt people on an island. No, he said that his friend was General Zaroff, but that definitely was General Zaroff. Or was it Baron? Oh shoot, was it Baron? I don't know, dude. It's been so long since I read The Most Dangerous Game.
Oh look, another resubscriber.
What is my spiciest gun opinion? Thank you very much, Parabellum, for the 6 months of subscription. I really appreciate it. What is my spiciest gun opinion? I think I probably have two. I have two like spicy gun opinions. One of them is that bullpups are actually really good, and people need to stop being a fucking snob about triggers. Bullpups are actually good, and people need to stop being a snob about triggers. That's one of my spicy gun opinions. My other spicy gun opinion is that people are obsessed with accuracy of guns, and like they're just absolutely unwilling to accept the fact that like a 3 MOA gun is still usable, and maybe they should just shut up and shoot more. Oh my god, this gun is 0.5 MOA. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit that your gun can shoot L1 MOA. Moreover, you can't even shoot your gun 1 MOA. Fucking out here looking like someone with Parkinson's trying to make a fucking long-range shot. Talking about how accurate your gun is. That's probably my spiciest gun opinion. That people are obsessed with, like, a gun being, like, 1 MOA. And, like, they can't even fucking shoot that well. What is MOA? MOA stands for Minute of Angle. And it is a long-range shooting term. Or just, like, a shooting term in general. I'm going to put it in the simplest terms that I can. 1 MOA means that if you were to fire 10 shots, all 10 of those shots would land within a 1-inch circle at 100 yards. That would make your gun a 1 MOA gun. So a 2 MOA gun would be all of your shots would land within a 2-inch circle at 100 yards. So that is what it is. And everyone is obsessed with, like, not everyone, I shouldn't say that. A lot of people are obsessed with, like, oh my god, this gun has to be, like, it's got to be under 1 MOA, otherwise it's not usable. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Minute of beer can works for me. Exactly. Like, honestly, because most of my guns, if they're, like, if I can get all of my shots to land within a 3-inch by 3-inch circle, or 3-inch by 3-inch square, that's great. That's perfect. I don't care. I get a lot of new gun owners asking, is it accurate? My take is, unless you've done a lot of shooting, the gun is going to be more accurate than you're capable of. Exactly. You get so many people that are like, oh, is this handgun accurate? It's going to be more accurate than you are. Anyway, that is my spicy gun take. My two spicy gun takes. Bitch, are you accurate? Exactly. You want to know the one thing I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys the one thing that drives me absolutely nuts when I hand someone a gun to look at. I'm going to do the thing. I hate this. This makes me so fucking mad when people come in and I hand them a gun. And they take it and they go like this. Oh, it's a good gun. What the fuck did that just tell you about the gun? What did that just tell you about it? Because it told me that you're a fucking moron and you don't know what you're doing. What is this? What does this tell you? What does this tell you about the gun? No, they're not pretending to fire. They're like wiggling it in their hand to see how it feels. Huh. Yeah, like they're testing the weight? I don't know what it's telling them. I don't know what information they're getting from it. I guess that the gun isn't rattling? I don't know. It's when you come in to the gun store and I hand you a gun and you try to do the fucking rubber pencil trick with it, that tells me that you're an idiot and you don't know what you're doing. And it makes me want to take the gun away from you. I don't know what it means. I really don't understand it. I will never understand what they're doing. And I can't ask them what they're doing. Because then they get all incredulous with me. Well, you don't know? Clearly not. Maybe I should. The next time someone does that, I'll ask them what they're doing. What is the most dangerous firearm I've ever used? Like, most unsafe or one that scared you? I really don't like where the charging handle is on the Zip 22. Slaps the ever-loving shit out of the trigger. Oh yeah, that's got a good pull. Yeah. Yup. The Zip 22 is a gun that I regret buying it. I think I said this on Twitter. The Zip 22 is a gun that I wish I had never bought. I wish I had never bought the Zip 22. And then after I bought it, I wish I had never sold it. Because now I kind of want one just because it's a massive piece of shit and it killed the company. It killed the company that made it. It was so bad, it killed the company that made it. And I kind of wish I hadn't sold it now, just if only for that. Just because of how bad it is. Because, God, it was bad. Yeah, for history's sake, yeah, that would be the only reason to keep it. What are my opinions on the Deagle Light? Like the Jericho? They're fun. It's a CZ75 clone, and anything that's a CZ75 clone is like decent. Not anything. I shouldn't say that. Not anything that's a CZ75 clone, but like the Jericho pistols are actually pretty good. You could do a lot worse, honestly. You could do a lot worse than a Jericho. What are my thoughts on the AK-50 prototypes? I don't think he's ever going to finish it. I really don't. I don't think he's ever actually going to finish the AK-50, and I think he's sick of hearing about it. But if he isn't sick of hearing about it, and he takes umbrage to me saying he's never going to finish the AK-50, then prove me wrong. Finish it. Finish the AK-50. Actually make it. Prove me wrong. But I don't think he's ever going to finish it. My whole family swears by Glocks, but I can't stand them. I've never been able to. You know, that's understandable. Glocks are like a love-hate thing. People either absolutely love Glock handguns or they absolutely hate them. I can understand that. There's a lot of people that hate the grip angle of them. I mean, there's a reason. There is a reason that a company makes a 1911 grip module for the SIG P320. Because people really like specific grip angles. So I've seen that picture of Kalashnikov shooting an SA-80. I don't think I have seen that one. I've seen the pictures of him and Eugene Stoner getting to meet each other. Ooh, do you guys want to hear another spicy gun opinion? I'll tell you another one. I'll tell you another spicy gun opinion. Let me get a little bit more lubricant on this. Ooh. Hang on. Sorry, my train of thought just completely derailed and crashed into a farmhouse. My train of thought just completely derailed and crashed into a farmhouse. I'm sorry. Give me just a second. Oh, I hate it when that happens. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy that worked on the M16, and like my brain is completely collapsing right now. And it's not Eugene Stoner. I'm not thinking of Eugene Stoner. It's the other guy that worked on the AR-15. And my brain is just like not letting me remember this guy's name. Oh, yep, James Sullivan. James Sullivan. Good lord, why was my brain not letting me remember that? Okay, here's my other spicy gun opinion. Is that Jim Sullivan does not get the recognition that he fucking deserves. Is that Jim Sullivan does not get the recognition he deserves as a amazing firearms designer. And that's really disappointing. Yeah, James Sullivan needs way more recognition. That's my other spicy gun opinion. Is that I know that Eugene Stoner gets all the credit for making the AR-15, but really I think a lot of that credit should go to Jim Sullivan. What was it he did? He was basically the one that scaled down the AR-15 from the AR-10. Like, Eugene Stoner designed the AR-10, right? But Jim Sullivan is the guy that made the AR-10 into the AR-15. If it wasn't for him, it wouldn't exist. He also designed the M77. Yeah, he designed a lot of really cool shit. Jim Sullivan designed a lot of really fucking cool stuff, and I really don't think he gets the credit that he deserves as a proper, like, amazing firearms designer. And that's kind of disappointing, to be completely honest. I wonder if I should have just had the screen on, like, a white screen so that you guys could actually see this, man. I goofed up. Alright, anyway. There we go. It's gonna be like that scene from Full Metal Jacket. Clean. Everything clean. Everything clean. He also designed the Ultimax. Yeah, dude, he has designed so many things. He was such a good firearms designer, and like nobody remembers him or gives him any credit for. Well, I shouldn't say nobody remembers him. A lot of people remember him, but you know, whatever. Ow! Ow, my back. What AR really means? Oh, is that my meme video I made about what AR really means? AR means the gun was made in Arkansas. AK means the gun was made in Alaska. Learn the difference. It's true though. That video's real. That video is real. Like, I feel like I should put some lubricant on these fucking lightsaber looking parts, right? I feel like I should put some lubricant on there, but honestly, when I did, it doesn't really seem to have that much of an effect on it. So I guess we'll just, yeah, whatever, fuck it. Let's do this. That'll work. You like the little treasure panda holding my ring? Thank you. It's a little tanuki. He's a little tiny tanuki. He's a friend. know, I really like cleaning this gun. I really like cleaning this gun. This gun's got so many, like, cool parts to it. It's so, like, interestingly machined. Also, I saw someone ask earlier if I could clean a Mauser next. Is that person still here? Is the person who asked if I could clean a Mauser next still here? Let me know if you are. Ow! Oh, I got something in my eye. Shit. Fuck! Hang on. I got like an eyelash. Ah! Ugh. Fucking eyelash. Alright, I think I got it. Now I gotta wait for my hands to dry off. Ooh, that's a weird... That's a weird effect. Surprise, it's more carbon. No, I think it's literally just like some dust. Are there any major differences between the MP9 and the TP9? MP9's full auto. That's pretty much it. The MP9 is full auto, the TP9 is semi-auto. Ow. Ow. TP9 is the civilian version? Yes. The MP9 is the full auto military version. The TP9 is the semi-auto version. The gloves are stuck to my hands, and now I look like I've got the fingers of the thing from the Lorax, where he's got like the little pocket in his finger. Is it fun? The TP9? It is my favorite gun that I own. No lie. Legitimately no lie, the TP9 is my favorite gun that I own. You get a lot of people will complain about how bad the trigger is, but honestly, I really don't think the trigger is that bad. I think you just need to get used to it. Can't you convert it to the fun switch if you have an FFL? Yes and no. You need special licensing. I don't know exactly what licensing you need to make a machine gun. You probably need a specific manufacturer license. And it's a lot more of a pain in the ass to convert a gun to full auto than you think it is. It is a massive pain in the ass and requires a lot of work that most people are not capable of. Also, because most firearm manufacturers design their guns in such a way that it's not conducive to make it full auto. You can't just like drop full auto parts into most of them. All right. There we go. Get that put in there. So then we got the entire bolt and barrel assembly with recoil spring and guide rod. That just pops onto here. Push this little plunger in the back. Wait, there we go. Take the stock out. Push the little plunger in the back. Get that all snapped together. Run that a couple times. How much did this set me back? Quite a bit. The TP9 is not exactly cheap. So the TP9 is, I want to say 2,000 something, 2,500, somewhere in that price range. And then there's the $200 that I had to pay to the ATF to register as a short barrel rifle. And then the stock and the foregrip are, let's just say like 120 for those two. So 2,500, 2,700, 900. Then you get like the optic on there and then the flashlight. I don't know, like let's just say around like 3,000 something. It's like 3,000 something for everything to get this all put together. So, not cheap. Not cheap. Can we get more streams like this? Well, currently there are 3 streams like this available on my YouTube channel that you should go check out after this. You should definitely look into those. Anyway. That is good for
You
this
have
one.
another subscriber.
Ooh. Get out of there. Get out of there. All right. Well. Thank you very much, Cloud Commander Zero, for the Prime subscription. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Does that raccoon have a license to carry? He's got a license to carry that ring. He's right there. Got a ring on him. Little Tanuki. Little Tanuki ring holder. Oh, yeah, that's right. Somebody had asked if I could clean a Mauser next. So, yeah, we can do that. Here, we'll clean this. They're Mauser Calipers. Man, I wish this thing would focus. They're Mauser Calipers. I don't really know what there is to clean on these. Yeah, that might just be rust. I thought that was like some schmutz that I could get out of there, but it's probably just rust. Oh, man, now the focus is all fucked up. I played myself. Camera, please. Properties. Configure video. Camera control, focus. You're supposed to autofocus. You're supposed to focus, camera. Oh, Lord. Here we go. All right. Well, honestly, that's probably a good spot to stop for this evening. Even the camera has ADHD. How dare you? But yeah, it does. That's probably a good spot to stop for this evening. Yeah, I think that's probably a good spot to stop. Gonna wait for that to restart. Thank you all. Thank you all so much for tuning into the stream. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me do a bunch of cleaning of different firearms. And thank you very much to anyone who subscribed or gave bits. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, you guys. It enables me to keep doing goofy stuff, having dumb streams, which I hope you all enjoy. But yeah, thank you all very much, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Be well.